One people, one people.
Original BAOC member and executive director of formerly incarcerated Giving Back, Richard Razor Johnson has lived a life of service, sacrifice, hard lessons, and redemption, which embodies the very essence of what we mean by community restoration. Born May 7, 1951, Razor was raised in the city of Oakland and grew up on these streets in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, navigating the harsh realities and limited opportunities afforded new African people in this nation at the time. Not one to accept the narrow deprivations of poverty, Razor found himself pulled into the contrapositive confines of the underground economy, and in 1974, prison. Finding himself thrust into the socially hostile microcosm of society that prison is, at a time in history where decolonization and the prospect of new African national liberation was expressing itself across the globe, he found that the prison gates were no barrier to this struggle for freedom, justice, and human rights. It was here that Razor began to transform himself, ideologically and politically, in common cause with those implacable new African Askaris who had organized themselves to stand against the hate, racist violence, and human misery that was being leveled against Black people on the inside and out. Razor, like many of us who honor him today, was there in 1978 and participated in the creation and formation of Black August and the Black August Organizing Committee. After years of resistance and struggle, Razor was released from the gulags of the California Department of Corrections and returned to his home, determined to build for his people. He opened the Jamaa Soko, a neighborhood store owned and operated by the formerly incarcerated, and embarked upon a mission to make a meaningful contribution to ending the poverty to school to prison pipeline he knew so well. However, the state had other ideas, and the state did not forget or minimize the threat Razor posed to their version of the status quo, and in 1995, he found himself again arrested and imprisoned. However, by this time, the state's domestic torture program was well into its maturation, and those who they identified as new African revolutionary nationalists or progressives were summarily placed in solitary confinement indefinitely. Razor was slammed into the hole from day one and confined to the infamous Pelican Bay SHU like all those whose politics was rooted in Black August resistance. There, Razor, like all BAOC members confined to the SHU, continued to cultivate and preserve the tenets of Black August and contributed to the advancement of new African ideological, political, and cultural development from behind prison walls. Culminating in the 2011 to 2013 hunger strikes and the ratification of the historic agreement to end hostilities, Richard Razor Johnson found himself again in the prison's general population. A singular thought had gestated in his mind while confined to Pelican Bay's SHU torture units: giving back to the people and being accountable for all the mistakes and missteps he had made over the course of his amazing life. Razor hit the ground running. He entered and completed every vocational and educational program he could enter. Earning multiple certifications and a degree, Razor nevertheless made time to mentor young prisoners and ensure the AEH was maintained wherever he found himself to be. He was a walking embodiment of redemption and principle, and others took notice. Behind the walls, there is no faking the funk. You're either serious about change or you're not. Either way, those who work behind those walls will know, and in Razor's case, the truth of his redemption was plain for all to see. In 2021, His effort was rewarded, and Governor Gavin Newsom released Razor on a medical reprieve. That same year, only a few months later, the time it took him to organize his team and file his incorporation documents, he founded Formerly Incarcerated Giving Back. And Give Back is exactly what he did. If we were to attempt to recount all Razor has done for the people of the city of Oakland and beyond, we'd be here for a few days. But I think it's important that we share a few of the highlights. Razor began organizing community cleanups across West and East Oakland, always the first to pick up a bag and get dirty. A staunch advocate of AEH Street, he organized and led peace walks to empower the community to see and embrace alternatives to conflict and violence. He was an inspiration to those coming home from prison, and he gave them all a sure means to embrace their own accountability and give back to the people. Razor began giving speeches at colleges and universities across California. Joined by other BAOC members, and in some cases other AEH proponents, Razor's experience and direction has influenced the very development of those who will one day make public policy. His work on the strike documentary and his lived experience upon which those contributions were made echoed in university auditoriums and political assembly chambers across the state alike. To be sure, his leadership in the community and uncompromising insistence that even the lowest voices must be amplified in the halls of power, Razor has repeatedly pressed a line for the people, directly to those who form the policies that impact our lives. He has been a tireless advocate for community development, economic empowerment, alternatives to imprisonment, and ensuring the people have the opportunities and tools to improve their lives and communities. This, perhaps above all else, the desire to give back to our communities in such a way that it proves transformational in lives, has defined Richard Razor Johnson more than any other quality. Razor, and Formerly Incarcerated Giving Back, has cultivated a network of philanthropic relationships which has facilitated the distribution of literal truckloads of food to the people every week for years now. Every holiday that the people celebrate is an opportunity for Razor and his formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters to give back. Free toys for the children on Mother's Day, giveaways on Father's Day, and in some cases, just because. He facilitated the distribution of free turkeys and meals on Thanksgiving to all who would come and receive this bounty. Razor has organized housing for the unhoused and organized the distribution of tents and other supplies to those who have nothing. Our youth, always our most central concern, have been dear to Razor. He has organized regular book readings to the children, improving their literacy and providing joy. When the new school year rolled around and parents in the town found themselves hard-pressed to get school supplies, Razor, and Formerly Incarcerated Giving Back, was there with free school supplies, backpacks, and clothes for our children. Razor has spoken to incarcerated youth at juvenile halls and young people at schools, seeking to every opportunity to provide them the benefit of his own life's experiences. In 2025, Razor finally published his memoir, Learning Life's Lessons, and has done numerous readings, speaking engagements, and book signings, inspiring countless others with his story and demonstrating the true power of redemption. Razor's story is our story, and it is one of both great triumph, but also of tragedy. Some of the best of us, men Razor had known as brothers, as surely as if they'd shared the same DNA, have moved on to the other side as they walked this path with him. Paul Mume Red, one of the original BAOC, and our brother. Mata Musa, who gave so much for so many. Shaka Atenin, who shepherded the BAOC on the outside while so many of us were still behind the wall. Yafiu Iyapo I, one of the strongest and best of us. And Paul Sangu Jones, PJ, our wisdom and one of Razor's closest brothers. When these brothers were pushed from this existence, Razor was there to support us all and their families, as we all were. This steadfast dedication to those of us who walk this same path is yet another example of the type of man Richard Razor Johnson is, and who we've always known him to be. That dedication to principles of collective life endures. He works with other BAOC members on a myriad of efforts designed to restore our communities and improve the lives of us all. Razor has worked at 5 Keys with several other BAOC members, supported the efforts of Cell Block 2 City Block, Project Identity, the Sustainable Agricultural Corps, Liberate Our Elders Support Services, the Artivist Cadre, and so much more. Currently working to improve the economic opportunities for all citizens of Oakland at Oakland Private Industry Council, he still finds time to contribute to essential community information resources as a staff writer for Oakland News Group. We could go on, but suffice it to say, the concepts of community restoration and national development you've heard here today are being realized by Richard Razor Johnson every day. For these and so many other reasons, at this first annual New African National Convention, we honor Richard Razor Johnson for being a model example of New African community restoration, a model example for us all.
Peter, how you doing?
Good.
We got another Captain Save the World, Mr. Do-Gooder. All right, there's the file.
Richard Johnson. Do you know why you're here?
Not really.
Why don't you have a seat?
Richard, it looks like you're charged with conducting numerous good deeds within the community.
I'm down there for what? Saving the community. When is that a crime? After years of doing evil in the community, I decided to flip the script and do what I thought was proper. That's doing good in the community. Giving them money, giving them food, giving them clothing, a place to stay. So if that's bad, I'm guilty.
Does FIGB sound familiar to you?
Yes, it does. Formerly incarcerated, giving back. And that is our mission, to give back. How many people is giving back? That would make it so important. If more people was giving back, it wouldn't be important.
Spare me the noble retort.
Spare me the sarcasm.
On December 18th, do you know what you were doing?
I was passing out gifts. Anything that we had available, mostly food, clothing, toys, whatever. And in some instances, money.
What were you hoping to achieve?
Bringing a smile to some people's faces, making their day bright.
Okay. Do you have any witnesses?
I think I have a whole community of witnesses.
Well, we're probably going to have to hear from them. Do you realize how suspicious?
Ask me, do I care?
That sounds...
Don't ask me, do I realize? Ask me, do I care?
You don't care?
I do not care.
Mr. Captain Save the Community, huh?
Front and center, and
Can you explain November 28th?
Thanksgiving. We passed out turkeys.
Really?
Guilty. Turkeys.
Okay, June 19th? What were you doing that day?
Passing out knowledge. We read to the kids. From my book on life lessons. I have a book.
And what is this book?
Life lessons learned through trial and tribulation. And I'm passing this knowledge on to the community, to the kids first.
Mr.
The kids are the future.
Virtue.
Most of that is manufactured. You take my good deeds and you turn them around. My part is to look out for the people. If that's a crime, I'm guilty.
It really seems like you're trying too hard to paint yourself as a hero. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
Yes, I'm guilty of doing good.
So you admit?
I admit to it. And some more.
Every single one of them.
And some more. I say bring it on.
We'll see what the court hearing has to say about that.
Is there anything else?
As a matter of fact, there is.
What about Mother's Day?
Guilty.
Father's Day?
Guilty.
You're making my job a lot easier, Mr. Goody Two-Shoe.
You call me Captain Do-Gooder, Captain Save the Community, Peacemaker. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of every single one of them. What are you guilty of?
We will be putting a warrant out for your arrest. I'll see you at the courtroom.
Let the games begin. I'll see you in court.
Remember, folks, do good, but not too good. You might catch a case like Mr. Vigilante of Virtue over here.
Everybody deserves redemption. Everybody. Even you.